Are we live, warriors? Warriors! Come on, play, warriors! Look at this cool hair. Dude, look at this cool hair, man. Come here, Sonic. Show up with me. Give me some love. Give me some love, Sonic. All right, get out of here now. So cute. I know, I'm super cute. The dog is cute too. Look at him. Say hi, Sonic. Over here, look. Dude, this dog is like, you have no sense of direction, dude. Out of the way. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. Okay, down, dude. Stop. Chill. Chill. I need a haircut. I need a haircut pretty bad. Let's see. Where are we at? Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people of the Instagrams. This is your homeboy, Jose Trujillo. I am just kicking it here. What's up? What's up? So I wanna touch on a little bit of something here. I want to touch on a little something here that I believe it's worth touching, worth poking at. Beep, boop, boop. This is the idea of the value of art, which is something that I've been thinking about myself for a while. A friend of mine reminded me of that right now too. She shared a message with me too, and reminded me of that. And so I've been thinking about it, you know. And so that was the click again in my head. Dude, look at this sexy hair, man. Oh, mucho macho. What's happening, Kareem? What was I saying? What was I saying, man? What was I saying, guys? It's too hot. The value of art, okay? What is the value of art? What's that? Opera, artistique. What's happening? It's 11 p.m. in Baghdad here. Dude, you're in Baghdad? Awesome. 11 p.m. Nice. So yeah. There you go. Shoko Fe. How's it going, Alicia? Good to see you here. So the value of art. What constitutes the value of art? What makes artwork valuable? There's a few things. There's a few things that we are to consider if we're talking about the value. Dude, I need a haircut, man. Look at this. If we are to talk about the value of art, there's a few things to consider. Framing sucks. Yeah, framing does suck a little bit. So there's a few things to consider when it comes to the value of art. Before we jump into what makes artwork valuable, okay, what makes your artwork valuable, my artwork valuable, or artwork in general, what makes it valuable, there's a few things to consider before that. When we're talking about art, we can't generalize art. So what makes my paintings valuable is very different than what makes a social media influencer's paintings valuable. It's very different than what makes a New York-based gallery's paintings valuable, artist paintings valuable. It's different than what makes an artist on Patreon valuable, a YouTuber valuable, right? A YouTuber influencer, and an impressionist painting or a painting in a gallery in, I don't know, a mom and pop shop gallery valuable. It's also different than what makes artwork at Sotheby's and Christie's valuable. And so oftentimes we get all of this mixed. Okay, what's happening, Diana? So I'm touching on the value of art the post you shared with me reminded me of that. I've been thinking about that for a while, so I want to touch on it. So again, what makes artwork valuable? What makes artwork valuable, right? What makes our work valuable? We cannot generalize artwork as itself, okay? Dude, I'm looking good, man. Look at this. Oh, I just need a little trim right here, a little trim of the beard, you know. Maybe just a little trim right here. Make it a little trimmy like that, and then boom, baby. Anyways, yeah. Let me get back to the reality here. We can't generalize because artwork is such a different. What's happening, Chris? It has so many different tiers. Okay, I know this sounds a little classist, guys. I know, I'm sorry. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. But it does. Artwork has different tiers. So artwork that is being sold at Sotheby's and Christie's, that's a tier. Artwork that is, okay, Wolverine. Artwork that is being sold on social media, that's a different tier. Artwork that is being sold on Etsy, that's a different tier. Artwork that is being sold directly through your website, that's a different tier. Artwork in big New York galleries, that's a different tier. And on and on and on and on. And when I say New York galleries, I'm talking about the shiny galleries. Those are in just about every big city. We call them New York or shiny floor galleries is usually what they're called. Shiny floors or New York galleries. Heaven says facts, right? And so there's different tiers of artwork. And so when we're questioning ourselves as artists and say, man, what makes my work valuable? You can't think about it as it's a painting. That throws everything off. You have to narrow it down as it's a painting by what artist? Remember, we're in a world where everybody and their dog is shooting paintings into galleries, online galleries. You name it, social media platforms. We're just you guys remember that movie Exorcist? Where they're like, they're just puking. That's what we're doing with art. We're just puking artwork. We're like, puking artwork. Everybody's puking artwork. Everyone. And a lot of people are puking a lot of bad art. And a lot of people are puking a lot of good art too. Okay? This is no longer the time where, well, this is good art, that's bad art. Like that's gone. That world is gone. Everybody's puking great art and everybody's puking horrible art. But everybody's puking art. And when I mean great art, I'm talking about it looks nice. Right? It's not muddy, composition's correct, the technique, the style, the skill level is high, right? And so again, what makes my work valuable? I asked myself this question a while ago, and I continue to ask it because I think it's a fair question. What makes my work valuable? So I have to think of it as, although I love my work and I think my work is my life and it's great and I put all this effort into it, my work gets copied hundreds of times, all the time. Which means that it ain't that hard to copy. Okay? It ain't that hard. Now, some people copy it a little better, some people copy it a little worse, but it ain't that hard to copy. Which means it's not that hard to produce. Okay? Let art historians figure it out. Just do you. Oh, I love that. And so, is it the difficulty of creating the artwork? Probably not. Is it that I am famous? Nope. No, I'm not famous. Okay? Is it that I am famous in certain circles? Nope, I'm not famous in certain circles. Some people may know me, but I'm not famous. There's no such thing as I'm famous. Right? I'm not famous. I can't just put a piece of artwork and people go like, oh, Jose just made a drop, you guys. Kind of like Supreme, you know? Jose just made a drop. Let's go check out what he did. Nope. It doesn't happen that way. As much as I want to, as much as I pray to baby Jesus, please, 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 may everybody go check out my drop. No, nobody does. Like one or two people, right? Out of thousands of people that I try to communicate, one or two people are like, let me go check out what happened. And so I have to like put on my I wish this said realistic. I have to put on my realistic hat, right? My realistic hat. And when I do that, when I put on my realistic hat, I realize how difficult it is and also how easy it is. It has both, how difficult and how easy it is to sell artwork in today's marketplace. Now let me break it down, okay, before I go. And I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging here. It's difficult because everybody's selling artwork. We're inundated by it. I don't think ever in the history of art have we ever been as inundated with artists. I mean, everybody's an artist. You talk to anyone and they're like, I'm an artist, I'm an artist, I'm an artist. And it's like, whoa, dude. It kind of reminds me of how people talked about the 60s when everybody was a musician. You know, you talk to anybody holding a guitar and they're like, I'm a musician, I'm trying to make it, I'm a musician. And that's kind of what it reminds me of, that idea, that sentiment, right? Well, right now, everybody's an artist. And so it's super difficult from the saturation of it, but it's also super easy that you can carve yourself a little space and you can get a few people to go check out what you're doing. It could be 10 people, it could be 20 people, it could be 100 people, it could be 1,000 people, right? But they could go check out what you're doing. And it doesn't mean that you have to be famous. You do not have to be Damien Hirst. You do not have to be a Picasso. That's what's going on in today's world. However, there's tiers of it. There's so many tiers. If you're an artist who's selling in Saatchi art, that's a tier. If you're an artist who's selling on Etsy, that's a different tier. If you're the same artist selling in both places for the same prices, you still don't understand that there's tiers. The stuff on Saatchi art should be priced 5-10 times more than whatever you're pricing on at least twice as more than whatever you're pricing on Etsy. Let's see. Corinne says, I love Jose through Jose's lecture time. So beneficial. Yeah, I am beneficial. Oh man, it was so hot. And so there's different tiers, you know? There's different tiers. And so the realistic hat is so damn difficult to put on. Because as much as we love our work and we have this sentiment and this feeling for our work, the marketplace is hold on, I like my sexy hair a little better. The marketplace is does not feel the same way. And that's soul crushing. It's like, oh my God, I put my energy into it. I even stopped going to school for this other thing in order for me to be an artist. I've worked 2 shifts in my regular day job in order for me to have the weekends off so that I can create my artwork. I am going above and beyond to do this thing, this art thing, and still the people who I show it to don't care. Imagine, like every artist, I imagine every artist feels this. I know I felt this many times. Like I'm going above and beyond to show my artwork. I'm putting it on Instagram. I'm putting it on Facebook. I'm doing auctions on eBay. And it still feels like people are just not paying attention to it. Chasing Kestrel says oversaturated. Yes, we're oversaturated. But at the same time, it's not a bad deal. Just because we're a dime a dozen doesn't mean it's a bad deal. What we need to do is I believe, this is just my opinion, this is one man's opinion, okay? This is just one man's opinion. I think what we need to do is understand that we're not operating like that anymore, where the artist creates artwork and expects the marketplace to love it the same way we love it, to care for it the same way we care for it, to pay attention to it, to share it, to ask where can I buy it, to bid on it if I'm doing auctions, to participate. I put something out, why do people not care? There's many reasons. Not only do we belong in different tiers. I know this is a horrible thing to say, guys, and I know most people would probably think Jose's lost it, he's bananas, but there are tiers. If you're an artist at Sotheby's, it's very different than if you're an artist in a local mom and pop gallery. I don't care if it's in Laguna Beach, it's very different. I don't care if it's in, I don't know, you're in Manhattan and you're having an exhibit. It's very different. It doesn't matter. It's a very different tier. It goes from I'm selling something in a big gallery that's worth $10,000 to I'm going to go on Sotheby's and it's going to be sold for at least $100,000. Right? It's a different game. Just simply being put in a different tier propels you to a different game. And it's also very different from being from Sotheby's, right, to a mom and pop gallery or a shiny gallery. Let's call it Sotheby's, a shiny gallery where you can sell something for 10K or 30 or 50K, to a mom and pop gallery. The mom and pop gallery, you're going to sell something that if you were in a shiny gallery, you would have sold it for 50K, right? $50,000. But if you're in a mom and pop gallery, you might be selling it for $5,000, not 50. It automatically gets rid of a couple of zeros there, and from there, if you take it to Etsy, you're gonna sell it for $500, not $5,000. And if you take it to eBay, you might sell it for $50. I was gonna say 50,000. You might sell it for $50. If you are lucky in any of those places, you might get away with the sale. If you're lucky in any of those places. I'm saying those price points, but that doesn't mean that people are getting those price points. If you're lucky, if people click with the work, right? And so there's so many different things happening simply for placement of the artwork and the artist. That's true. All artists not valued equally. And then Chris says, nor should they. Right, because there's so many different criteria. There's so many different criteria. So not only there's different tiers, right? Another criteria to pay attention to is the importance of the artist. Now we're talking about the importance of the platform. Now let's talk about the importance of the artist. Has the artist done something extraordinary in order to receive certain importance in the marketplace? This could be like what Damien Hirst did. Go and pay someone a few $1,000s. I don't know how many $1,000s, but he paid someone to fish, some fishermen, to fish a great white shark, cut it in thirds, put it in formaldehyde. Oh my God, a shark in formaldehyde. Make the news everywhere. Did that make Damien Hirst a better artist than someone else? No, but it certainly gave him more cojones than most other artists, right? Something very bananas to do, like the guy who plays the banana with the tape. Does that make him a better artist? No. As a matter of fact, most of us laugh at those things. We call them gimmicks. However, they earn themselves a name in another criteria, which is what important thing have you done? Which is the same thing. This is nothing new. It's the same thing that Michelangelo did with the David. Right? It's the same thing. He took something that was from Greek mythology and brought it to what people were paying. What were people paying during his time in the Renaissance? They were paying for Christian or Catholic, right? But Christian, Judeo-Christian themes, biblical themes in that society. They were paying top dollar for that. Why? Because the church was the top boss, right, in the Renaissance. And so as he goes and do that, he earns himself a name. Was he the best sculptor? I doubt he was the best sculptor. As a matter of fact, there's many other artists who were named much better sculptors that not only did great work in marble, but also did great work in terracotta and different mediums. But Michelangelo took the flag of I am the greatest. Why? Because he did something very bold. So that's another criteria. What bold thing have you done? Picasso did something very bold. Deconstruct art, right? Braque, Picasso, and I forgot the other guy's name. Matisse. Braque, Picasso, and Matisse did something very, very different. Monet did something very different, right? So he earned himself a title of an avant-garde, a mold breaker, something. So that's a different tier. Now I'm talking about antiquity. And this guy's Monet and these guys were not necessarily antiquity, but we were talking about almost 200 years ago, or 150 years ago or so. If we're talking about today, just think about it. There's almost 8 billion people in this world. It's very strange and very rare for someone to do that. And it becomes every time more strange and more rare because the gimmicks just keep getting weirder and weirder. Just like the Italian guy who sold an invisible sculpture, right? They just keep getting weirder and weirder. And so people are having a harder time. We sort of understood what Basquiat was doing. We sort of understood, definitely Basquiat. We sort of understood what Banksy is doing, with the stencil work around the world, sort of not just an avant-garde, but a protest type of work, And we sort of understand that, but it gets weirder and weirder every time. And that tier, that criteria, keeps getting harder to reach. So what a lot of artists have done is like, screw that. I'm not gonna talk to the masses. I'm gonna talk to a small audience. I'm gonna go make a Patreon. I'm gonna go make a YouTube channel. And then those things have tiers as well. You could have a YouTube channel, but it doesn't mean that you have 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You could be me and only have, I don't know, what, 20,000 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is not bad, right? But I'm not gonna compare myself to someone who has 1 million subscribers on YouTube that has demand of viewership, right? Has a demand of viewership. And so it's very different. Does that make that person a better artist than me? Well, toe to toe, probably not. Maybe not, who knows? But that person commands more audience, commands more views than I do. And therefore that bumps them up to another tier. Within that criteria of YouTubers, it bumps them up to a different tier. And this is what a lot of us don't get. There's so many different criteria happening in today's world. You could be an artist who is selling your artwork on Instagram, and as soon as you put something, people go bananas for it, and the artwork could be horrible, but people go bananas for it because you're commanding more views. There's something you're doing that's commanding more views. The work could be okay, or it could be just really bad. But if it commands views, that bumps you up right away to another tier. Remember, guys, we are not in the information age. We like to call this the information age. We're not in the information age anymore. Okay? Things are moving super fast. It is not just the information age anymore. We are in the attention economy. It's not just information. Within the information age, if you want to call it that, we're in the attention economy. He, she, they, them, who is able to pull more views their way, wins in that criteria. Gets bumped up to a different tier. Let's see, lol. Damien Hirst has admitted to stealing ideas. Yeah, he doesn't just admit like, oh, I caught you. He will say it. I've stole ideas throughout my entire career. Because that's what artists do. They go, they look at something, and they just... The thing is that we are not in a time... I don't even think we've ever existed in a time where if something is good, people are going to flock to it. It doesn't work like that. We would like it because that means that we place our hopes in a utopic in a meritocracy utopia, right? If I create really great work, people are going to flock to it. If I make a good painting, people are going to want to buy it right away. And so because of my merit, I'm going to be judged and valued. And the thing is that when we talk about merit, we're talking about art in from our perspective. We're talking art from our perspective. And merit is a very weird word. I think that's why a lot of us are having such a hard time in today's day and age when we talk about merit, or we talk about some idea about meritocracy, because we think that merit is something that if I work more hours, well, that may not necessarily be the merit. You know, maybe you're just punching a wall. If I paint better, maybe that is not the merit. You think that that's the merit in which you're going to be rewarded, but that's not the merit. The merit could very well be if I'm friends with this influencer, you know, and I make I expended the energy to go become friends with this influencer. I sent them paintings. I talked to this influencer and I told them, hey, look, you have 500,000 followers on Instagram. If I give you one of my paintings, can we go halfsies if we auction it together? Or if I sell it, or if you sell it, I'll give you half of the price, whatever. We're gonna sell this painting for $1,000. You have a 500,000 followers or whatever on Instagram. Every time you sell one of these, when you put it on your stories, I will know that it came from you because it's going to come directly through my DMs, right? And we'll make it so that I know that it comes from you, that this specific painting comes from you. And as soon as it sells on my Instagram, that people are like, yes, please sell it to me. I'll do Venmo or PayPal or whatever. You give them half. That could be the merit, where you're thinking that the merit is if I just paint a little better, if I just do something a little better. You might be confused about what merit is in today's day and age. It might not be picking up a shovel and digging the deepest ditch. And so I think that's why a lot of us get confused about this merit thing. Where you show your art determines your effort and social standing. It's very true. But also, it's not just where you show it, okay? Again, because you could be a YouTuber who's earning top dollar for your artwork because you command a lot of views. You could be an Instagrammer. This is why I've talked about certain artists here on Instagram that command a lot of views, and as soon as they put something, $300-400 painting, boom, it sells. It might not be $3,000-4,000, right? Let's say it's only $300. It sells right away. But what if they do that 3 times a day? That's $900 a day, you know, times however many days they want to do that of the month. They might just want to do that one day of the month, or they might want to do that 30 days of the month. And so there, a lot of artists are earning top dollar now because they're finding the merit in different ways. You could be an artist who's on Patreon who's showing, I don't know, some skill on how you paint and whatever, and you command a lot of people to go there and drop $5 a month every month. They're giving you $5. You could be doing that. So sometimes we get lost in the idea of my artwork. I'm going to put my artwork here, and is this going to work or is this not going to work? It might be that. It might not be that. It might be the fact that your work is really bad and no one pays attention to it, or it could be that your work is really good and no one paying attention to it. But it's not because your work is good or bad. It's because we live in an attention economy. People are already paying attention to other things. The people that I'm trying to talk to are on TikTok. They're on Instagram. They're watching other artists' work. They're ordering their Starbucks at the Starbucks window. Their attention is scattered all over the place. And so what a lot of us have done is, I need to go talk to a small group of people. This comes from the idea of the smallest viable audience, which is a thought leader came up with this. He didn't invent it, but he He put it out there. Seth Godin, which I have my discrepancies with Seth about it too, because I feel like a lot of it comes from being having a lot of privilege. You know, if I don't need the money, then I can create. But Gary Vee says this too. If I don't need the money, then I can really create the audience because I'm gonna do it for free, right? I'm gonna give value for free. As long as I don't need the money, I can create the audience. The problem with that is most of us need the money. Most of us, when we're creating artwork or we're trying to build a career, it's because we need the money also, right? It's part of it. Many of us don't, but it doesn't mean that just because you don't need the money, all of a sudden you're gonna command an audience. It might very well be that you don't understand the merit that it's needed. And I'm not talking about work ethic here, guys. I'm talking about what is needed, the key that opens that audience. Again, the merit may not necessarily be I'm going to paint better, or I'm going to paint faster like Jose, or I'm going to paint bigger, or it might not be any of those. It might mean I'm going to do a slow motion, high definition video of my work with soothing music, and I'm going to upload it on Instagram, or I'm going to upload it on TikTok, like many artists do. It might mean that. It might mean I'm going to break down my journal, my artistic journal, and I'm going to make that my blog. It might mean that. But who's to know, right? Who's to know? And so that's why we say that a lot of it comes down to luck, where people show up on platforms and they do certain things, and then we're like, oh, they just got lucky. It feels that way. But really what happened is they hit it right in the center. This is what happened with me when I started auctioning my work on eBay. Everybody who knew me was like, you're either crazy or you got lucky. Like, who would do that? But still today, if you go to my eBay auctions, you'll notice that a lot of them are at $1. A lot of artwork is not bid on. And it's because I've done it so much that I understand. I understand that I don't need to look at the prices because I know what it's going to end at. Like, I know what's going to happen. I've done it so much that I can be like, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen. If I put this here, I know what's going to happen. I need fuel. I need to put more work, and I need fuel. And I have a certain number of paintings that I put every day in order to create that fuel. But it's not because my work is so much better than someone else's. It's not because I paint faster. It's not because I have this audience on Instagram. Look, supposedly there's 74,000 people that follow me on Instagram. Why is only there 20 or 19 people watching this live? And probably 18 of them are scratching their heads and being like, what is this guy talking about? I don't know. But like thinking that I don't even know this guy. Who's this Jose Trujillo? Why am I watching this right now? 18, you know, and it fluctuates. It goes down to like 10 people, and then it goes up. Out of 70-something thousand people, why? Why is there not at least 1,000 people watching this live? Out of 7, even let's say that 90%, 99% of them were busy. 99%. Do the number on that. If 99% of 74,000 people that subscribe to my channel here are busy with other things in life, if 99%, there would at least be 100. At the very least, there would be 100 people here.
I gotta go get Daniel.
Okay, baby.
Okay.
I'll see you right now.
Okay. Todo está bien.
Okay. Dang, girl. I'll give you another kiss. My wife. So you see what I'm going with? People are about their own life. They're going about their own life. And they see me from time to time and they're like, hey, Jose, I saw your YouTube. But they're going about their life. I can only count, it's like a funnel. I can only count with a little small drip that comes down. This is very difficult for a lot of artists to understand. If you're talking to 1,000 people, if you're an average artist who paints well, you're doing something cool, something cute, let's call it that. You're doing something nice. If you talk to 1,000 people on Instagram, you're like liking, commenting, making videos or whatnot, you'll be lucky if 100 of that 1,000 looks at what you did. They might even like it and not even look at it. They're just scrolling and liking, scrolling and liking. They might even like it. They might even comment and not even know what you're about. They're like, oh, I like the red in this painting, but I have no idea, zero idea what you really do. Whether you auction that painting, whether you do commissions, they have no idea what the hell is happening, what's going on. It is not until you hammer it and hammer it and hammer and hammer it that they start to get it. They're like, wait a minute. Oh, I think I'm starting to understand what Jose does. But sometimes it takes years. I know some people are like, Jose, I've been following you for the past 2 years, and I just found out about your eBay auctions. Just think about that one for a second. Either I'm a horrible communicator, which I may be, or people are just effing busy. People are just busy. They're not paying attention. Not because they're not paying attention, because their attention is fragmented all over the place. It's all over the place. They're looking at me when they're, man, I look sexy. They're looking at me, they're going, and when they're finished, they go look at someone else. They go look at whatever other artist is doing, and then they go and they have to go get their coffee, and they have to go take care of the kids. Not only the physical, real life, but then they get bombarded with DMs, with every social media platform imaginable. And they get stuck looking at the new Netflix show or whatever. And so their attention is fragmented. Everyone's attention is fragmented. And so people are really only paying attention to that which they really, 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 really care about, is what I'm trying to say here. People are only paying attention to that which they really care about. No longer do people just go in a crowd and be like, oh, what is everybody doing here? Yeah, let's go do that. People are not doing that anymore. If they were doing that, would still all hold hands together and go to the movies or do, no, it's fragmented. It's fragmented. There's HBO, there's Netflix, there's Disney TV. There's all these things. That's just on television, right? There's all these different things going on. There's shows. There's the new movies. It's so damn fragmented. It's all over the place, and so people are now really. What happens in today's world, in this attention economy, is that the viewer, the experiencer, has become a curator of what they like and they don't like. And it's not face value anymore. Like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. No, they have way too many good options. You know, we have all these great shows. No longer do you have to sit in front of the TV with 8 channels and scroll through. Should I watch I don't know. Should I watch Saved by the Bell and some other bullshit, or what is it, Full House or whatever? Or should I? Today's not like that anymore. If you sit in front of the TV, you don't have 2 or 3 mediocre shows. It's not like that anymore. If you sit in front of the TV, you have 100 kick-ass, high fucking quality shows. Like high quality. The people puked millions and millions to make those shows. This is what's going on with your artwork, guys. And people don't realize this. Like when people go on eBay, even though there's a lot of bad art in all these platforms, there's a lot of like crappy art. People are not going and saying, "Oh my God, there's no good things." That's not the world we live in anymore. There's so many damn good things. There's so much good art. There's also a lot of horrible art. There's a lot of really good art. And so there's avant-garde. There's all the new stuff and the derivative stuff. You know, there's all the new contemporary pop art, all the derivative art. Like I paint like an impressionist, expressionist. I paint like Dali. I paint like Picasso and da da da. There's all this, and a lot of it is trash, and a lot of it is really good. And so people, we're saturated with information. We're saturated with content. There's so much content thrown in our faces. Would you be open to charge your entire way on working in order to advance your career? I did that. I charged from the beginning. Let me read some of the comments, guys, because I haven't read any of the comments. Or did I? pet rock theory. Certain markets too, says Chris. Certain markets too, you can get away with things you can't in other places. New York, yeah. And it's a matter of whether you got invited there or not, right? Like sometimes you can be in a market, but it doesn't mean that you're invited to the group. Remember, guys, I need to remind people this. There's only about 5 galleries in the world that amass most of the income from art. Okay? Like Sotheby's, Christie's is only taking art from about 5 different galleries or gallerists. It's a very, very small group to get into those top tier. And so when we think about art, a lot of us think about those things, but the artist auctioning in Sotheby's has nothing to do with me. Like we are worlds apart, you know? We're worlds apart. They're in Venus somewhere out there, and I'm in a whole different galaxy. We're like in a completely different world. Jason says people are attracted to art that they have an emotional connection to. Yeah, but again, right? We're talking about what type of art. And so when we're talking about, oh, this artist sells, that artist doesn't sell, we're usually talking about the art that sells for under $500. Most artists never make any money. Today, there's more of a capacity for artists to earn a living, but and the way that a lot of artists have earned a living, it's not directly with their artwork. It's the Patreon, it's YouTube, is some form of NFT today. Like it's usually around the art. It's not like, you know, it's not the art. A lot of artists don't make any money with their artwork. Most artists never make any money with their artwork. It's usually something around it. Like I took a picture of it and I turned it into some NFTs. I took a picture of it and I sold some prints, and I have this huge following on Instagram. I have 1 million followers on Instagram or whatever. How do I make a living as an artist? Oh, very simple. I make this really kick-ass painting that I think it's kick-ass. I show it to them and they're like, oh my God, great. How much is it? Oh yeah, the painting is worth $7,000. Oh my God, I wish I could buy it. I can't afford it. Most people cannot afford it. Remember, in the US, almost 90% of people earn under $300,000 a year. And so just think about that. 80% of people don't even earn $100,000 a year, guys. And yet we're trying to sell artwork to this very small group of people. Very, very small group of people. This is what I read. I don't know if the stats have changed, but I remember reading this not long ago, that not even 80% of people in the US won't even touch the $100,000 a year income. Over 80% of people. And so, like, who's buying? How much is the artwork buying? Are they going to pay their mortgage or buy one of your paintings? And so many times we don't even think from that lens. And so the artist who's dude, stop. The artist who's selling their artwork on Instagram, who has 1 million followers, the way they do it is, yeah, my painting is worth $5,000 or $7,000 because I did this kick-ass painting or whatever. But I can sell you prints for $30 or $25 a print. And then they're able to sell, I don't know, 20 or 30 of those prints in a single day, in a single drop, right? It might take them 2 or 3 days before they come up with another painting. Or maybe they do a painting every day. That gets a little trickier, but they do a drop. Hey guys, I just finished this painting. I'm gonna do a drop. This was very popular about 5 years ago. I just finished this painting. I'm gonna do a drop of my prints, and then they would sell the prints for under $40 a piece. Now do the numbers on that. It doesn't take a genius. You know, you sell 10 of those, boom, baby. You're already making some substantial income. If you sell just 10 prints, if you have 1 million people following you, and actually the algorithm is favoring you, right? That people are actually liking and commenting and engaging with you. But more and more, those tactics don't seem to work for a lot of artists. More and more because everybody's doing them. You know, the first guy that did it, that person filled their pockets with as much cash as they could. The second person that did it, a little bit less. By the time there's 20 people doing it, it's no longer a novelty. The tactic is burned out. You know, it's a tactic. It's burned out. If a person, Danny Rock says, if a person becomes famous first, then they need no talent and will still work. Absolutely, this has always happened. Fame trumps everything. You know, it's why in our society people do ridiculous things in order to become famous, right? It's why the sex tapes come out. It's why politicians say the most vile, ridiculous things. It's the same thing. It's if I do something ridiculous, something that it's like, oh no way, how dare you do something like that? Why would you say such thing? It's to agitate, you know. It's to agitate groups of people, large masses. If the world has their eyes on you, if the world doesn't have their eyes on you, you could do a sex tape and no one gives a shit, right? But if the world has their eyes on you, then it just it explodes the whole thing even more. I still try to message celebrities sometimes. Lame, but you never know. How can I start selling my paintings? Tell me your feedbacks on your advice, please. The algorithm works against slow-moving artists. Yeah. Well, look. So you can be a slow-moving artist, but it doesn't mean that you have to be a slow-moving marketer or a slow-moving person. So I understand when artists say my artwork takes forever. That's okay. If your artwork takes a week or a month to create, that's fine. Look at Chuck Close. Chuck Close's artwork took forever to make. And many other artists. I'm not just talking about hyperrealists or artists who have a very slow process. It doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean that Chuck Close was a slow guy, you know. And so you not putting a complete painting on Instagram just because it takes you 3 days and you're like scratching your head, I don't know, when should I put another painting on Instagram? That's not how this game works. You should be putting a photograph of your coffee and a couple of brushes and saying, this shit's taking more than I imagined. I think I need more coffee, and that could be your post. Like it doesn't have to be your artwork. And Instagram is not a gallery. Instagram 12 years ago was a gallery of images. Instagram today is it's the way I look at it, it's like Facebook/TikTok trying to mimic Instagram 10 years ago. Instagram is not a gallery anymore. It's long gone. If you're not putting content as often as you can, you're not understanding Instagram. Instagram is just like any other platform. It's about content, and content creation doesn't mean that you have to go, unless you're a content creator, right? That you're like, this content is gonna make me famous. That's different. But again, there's so much to cover. Like you could be an artist who's a content creator who wants to use YouTube as the way to monetize. That means that you're gonna make a YouTube video. This fucking dog, I swear. He really tests my zen. And so if you're on YouTube, you could be the way to make that shit work is that you're gonna have to make some really great YouTube videos. And really make really great YouTube videos, it's not gonna take you an hour to make a video. You know, it might take you 8 hours, or it might take you 72 hours to make a really top-notch YouTube video. And that's how those people monetize it. You're not gonna monetize YouTube because you're making a crappy video and then just throwing it there. It doesn't matter that the information is amazing, that the content is brilliant. It doesn't matter that you are a Zen master trying to illuminate the world and enlighten everyone. It doesn't matter. If the content, the edited content is not palatable for the YouTube viewer, they're gonna reject it. 9 out of 10. Every now and then you see people that get famous with crappy videos, but it's extremely rare. The people that get the traction on YouTube is because they make some kick-ass YouTube videos. Same thing on any other platform. The people that got traction here on Instagram, I don't know, those of you who remember, were the people who were making some really nice Instagram photos. But people keep trying to do that today, and that's not how it works anymore, because the algorithm's not favoring that anymore. It doesn't care. It's behaving like Facebook now. It does not care anymore. What is it? Danny Rock 148. Yes, I try to create content on anything I'm doing, but it has to do with art, not even finished work. Just keep there myself. Yeah. Your artistic journal, what is that? Should I have one? No, your artistic journal, not everybody has one. Some people have them. It's where people doodle and write. You know, a lot of artists, they think they're poets / I don't know, thought leaders and whatnot, and so they used to write things. I think it's more of a generation prior to mine. What is that? Gen Xers? I think Gen Xers used to do that. I'm a millennial. I think Gen Xers used to do that. They used to write shit down and whatnot. That should be your content. They used to write and they used to carry around notepads with. I did that when I was a kid, but I don't think as much as the Gen Xers did. I started recording stuff, putting stuff in digital media. People are putting out so much work because they're trying to beat the algorithm. And it's not just that you're trying to beat the algorithm by putting so much work out. Is that you're trying to stay in front of the face of those that raise their hand and say, I like what you do. That's why you're trying to put a lot of work. Putting a lot of work it's not necessarily going to beat the algorithm. What favors the algorithm, what gets the algorithm in your favor, is putting content that goes viral, that people actually want to click on and share and whatnot. Most of your content is not going to do that. For most people, it's not. Most people don't hit the nail on the head. Very few people do it, and yet everybody's trying to go viral. I put a lot of content not because I'm trying to go viral. There's no way that I'm going to go viral that way. The way to go viral is to hit the nail on the head and repeat it again and again. A lot of it is a matter of luck. It's just I did something that people were like, wow, on TikTok, I made a little video of me squeezing a tube of paint, and I got over 1 million views. I did that again, no one cared. I did it again, no one cared. Probably the trick was that people like seeing things squeezed out. That's what I really should have done. I really should have gotten one of those things to crank things out or whatnot and just pass things through it. But that's not my gig, right? My gig is not trying to crack the algorithm of TikTok, even though I play around with it and not. It's really not, because I'm not. That's not what I do. What I do is I paint. I paint for a living, and I auction paintings on eBay, and I create commissions, and I sell stuff on Cherish and Saatchi and Etsy. I sell paintings there, and I also sell them on eBay. But that's what I do. I'm a painter. I don't. I'm not trying to crack algorithms, or I'm not trying to crack things. It's just it's impossible from my position. It's ridiculous. I could not even do it because I'm spending all my energy creating artwork, not trying to create content for those platforms. Which Gary Vee and someone else would be like, well, you should be creating content for those platforms. Well, you should, I guess. But I don't, because the amount of energy that it requires, it's ridiculous. And I'd rather spend that energy making another painting so that I can auction it, because that's what's paying me. It's auctions that are paying me. It's commissions that are paying me. It's gallery shows that are paying me. It's artwork that's paying me. It's not content creation. I do content creation mainly to brand myself, so that people are like, yeah, I think I've heard Jose. I saw him somewhere there. Yeah, dude, that dude keeps putting those things, and I'm branding myself with the people who already raised their hand. You know. Or burn out unless they can work fast with quality, like Jose. It's because there's so many different ways of doing it. Diana says, yeah, there is lots of noise on IG and all these platforms. Yeah. If you're not people's favorite person feed, you're swiped fast. Yeah, I mean, we've done studies, right? Apparently, a goldfish has more attention retention, attention retention than the human brain on a digital platform, right? Online, we don't retain attention anymore, unless you do want to pay attention to whatever that thing is. Like I said in the beginning. We have so much to look at and so much good stuff that look, if I was in 1998, 96, 95, I would have turned the TV on and be like, what's that fucking show called? Full House. The Tanners. That's what I would be watching. I'd be like, man, it's between the Tanners and some bullshit. I don't know. What is it? 700 Club or whatever. Like some other bullshit. I don't know. It's not like that anymore. Or some old movie from like 10 years ago that they're barely airing now. That they barely bought the rights to air on TV. It's not like that anymore. You turn on the TV and there is at least 100 shows that are top notch, top quality in one single platform. You go on Netflix and it's like, you go on Disney TV, Netflix, any of them, FX, HBO, whatever, any of them. There's like countless of content that is top quality that they puked hundreds of millions of dollars in order to produce. It's the same thing with art. You think that you're the only one on Instagram that's trying to get people's attention? The feed that you have, sometimes we think we're competing with each other too. It's like, oh, this person just put some stuff, I'm gonna go put some stuff. Oh, I know this because I get some artists that if I put something on Facebook, they automatically go in and try to like put stuff right next to me so that they can. I'm also competing with Jose. But you're not competing with me, and I'm not competing with you. As soon as you put something, it gets buried. It gets buried in 1,000 other people who put that the same second, not the same minute, the same second. And so, if people are gonna buy your stuff or bid on your stuff, it's because they took the time, right? They took the time to look at it. It's a lot of it today is just a matter of luck. Did they take the time to look at it? Okay, cool. And then if you come the next day, they took the time to look at it. Okay, cool. And this is how I was able to create a living on selling artwork online. I posted something, it went for shit. Posted again, it went a little better. Posted again, shit. Posted again, a little bit better. And on and on and on until I started finding a price point that I was like, I bet if I can keep doing this, I can make a living. And then I did it and I was like, oh yeah, what if I post another painting? Instead of just one, I'll post two. And that's how I did it. I did it in this very gradual way that 10 years later, I'm still able to make a full-time living, But Knight Rider, there you go, yeah. Dude, I used to love Knight Rider. Kit, Michael. The 1% have enough art. So there it is, my friends. I hope that this was worth anything. My neighbors might have Sonic. Dude, Sonic is just freaking bananas. Sonic is just so ridiculous. And so people are not looking at your work and saying, oh my God, your work is so great. Oh, Jose, oh my God, your work is so great. No, people that are buying my work, it's because they're in my bubble now. They're in my bubble. You see what I mean? Like, it's not because they don't have options. And it's not because there's not better work out there. And there's tons of options. Like tons and tons and tons of options. The reason why people are buying my work, the people that buy my work, is because they are hooked into my bubble. They're in my bubble. And they're like, oh, I understand. It's kind of like when people go and like, I don't know if you've noticed this about people, but people tend to date people around them. You know, it's like, well, yeah, duh, Jose, yeah. But it's so weird. I always thought it was so weird. Like, I always scratch my head. And I was like, dude, out of like 8 billion fucking people, you decided to date your friend's ex? I'd always scratch my head. I was like, dude, there's 8 billion fucking people in this world. And you decided to date your best friend's ex? No shame, guys. No shame if you've done it. It's just human condition. We do what's closest to us. We do what we understand. What's not what's great. We don't do what's great. We don't go look for what's great. We look for what is common, comfortable, close to us. Something that won't require extended energy. Most people don't say, I'm going to go find the love of my life. I'm going to go backpack throughout the world until I find her or him or they, you know. I'm going to go find the love of my life. People don't do that. People go and then they do their work and then they go and they're in their city, the state, the country, right? The country, the state, the region, the state, the city, the county, to the little town, to the little 4 blocks, and boom, they find the love of their life. In the same place they're at. Why? Because that's where they're at. We do things where we're at. We do things that are close to us. We do things that are comfortable to us. And so people that are buying your work, it's because you're there's a close vicinity to it. I've heard of Jose. Yeah, I've heard of Jose. It's not. I can't afford these huge billboards, right? I can't afford like I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars of Facebook ads and whatnot. I can't do that. Maybe you can, but I can't do that. And so I'm always talking to the same group and then try to grow it just a little bit, and keep talking to the same group, and then just try to grow a little bit, and just doing that over and over and over again. Why? Because if I go out of my way and try to talk to everybody, no one's gonna pay attention. No one's gonna pay attention. I need to go back to the group, to the powerhouse, right? I need to go back to the group. I know that if I put a painting out there and I say, Alicia, Diana, oh my God, you're gonna love this. It is more likely for them to be like, oh my God, like that is really cool. And for them to be like, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? Maybe I have enough already. Could I give it as a gift? But I know they're thinking about it. If I just go and show it to the world, the first thing they're gonna say is, the fuck is that? Who the fuck is Jose? They're gonna be confused. It's gonna be a confusion, a complete confusion. But if I show it to Claudia, to Diana, to Alicia, right? If I show it to someone who's in my group, they're gonna be like, oh my God, Jose, I think you outdid yourself here, or I'm not so sure if I like this one so much, but let me see, let me take a look at it or whatever. But there is something that's already in the vicinity. They know who Jose is, right? At least they even know my fucking dog's name, right? So just think about that for a second, guys. When people are buying your work, again, what makes your work valuable? It's, for me, what makes someone's work valuable is the fact that they know you, that there is, and not know you as in like they know you, your family and whatnot. That's great too, but there is proximity. Proximity sells work, and if the work is any good, you get luckier. But if your work is good and there's still no proximity, it's hard to sell. So your work could be great, and then you put it in a platform, and people might not even smell it, touch it, look at it, nothing, avoid it. And it could be great. It could be great work, but they won't. The work could be really bad, but if it's in the proximity, right? Whether it's your mind, your heart, you could be like, oh yeah, that's a Banksy. Oh my God, it's a Banksy. But you, somewhere inside, you're like, it's a fucking stencil, man. Why is it $50 million? It's a stencil, right? But it's Banksy. There's a proximity to it with me. And so, anyways, guys, I'll leave you with that. I'm waiting here for a collector. They're coming and picking some stuff up. My cousin's wife left him for his best. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the comments, guys. So there it is. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk with you guys and share the love with you guys. Stay well and sophisticated. Again, my name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. I decided to look super sexy today with my hair all over the place. Yeah. I'm going to be walking around the streets of Tucson like that. No, I'm just joking. I'm going to go get a haircut. But anyways, peace out, everyone. Remember, guys, what I believe is makes the work valuable is proximity. It's not the platform. It's not this. It's not that. If you have proximity to those platforms, your work will become better, more sexy as fuck. Hell yeah. Your work is going to become more known if you have proximity to people on Facebook. People are going to be more likely to buy it. If you have proximity in a gallery in your town, there will be more likely to buy it. But you need proximity. Okay? It's not a matter of I'm going to show my work to everybody. Why is nobody looking at it? Because there's no proximity. There's no proximity. Just think about it this way. Would you go above and beyond your children, your spouse, your wife, your husband? You would go above and beyond. Why? Why? Because she's my wife. Yes, because you have proximity. There is proximity to that. You live with them. You care for them. You go to bed. You wake up to them. There's proximity. There's more that you would go above and beyond for your children or your wife or whoever's closest to you many times than even a parent or a cousin or whatever. Why? Because it's more distant. Even though our parents were like, oh my God, my parents. Yeah, but your parents become more distant once you're married. There's a bit more distance now. Now your proximity is with that person that you spend your life every day. So, yeah, I'll leave you with that, okay? Everybody take care. The name is Jose Trujillo. Peace out. Go bid on some of my work. Click on Speaking of proximity, go get some proximity on that. All right, guys, take care. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.